You won't believe the things Steve Kerr has been saying about Jonathan Kaminga lately. The Warriors head coach recently dropped some serious truths in a podcast interview that shook the fan base and the basketball world alike. It's almost like Kerr is openly expressing frustration with Kaminga, and it feels like he's ready to move on from the young player. He didn't hold back when he said that Kaminga, as talented as he is, isn't currently the kind of guy he can trust with heavy minutes if the goal is winning games. That's basically Kerr telling Kaminga, "You're not a winner right now." It's a harsh take, but it's out there for everyone to hear. This all came to light thanks to a well-respected insider who's been following the Warriors closely for decades. Kerr sat down with him for an in-depth chat where they talked about Kaminga, Andrew Wiggins, the Steph Curry partnership, and even Kerr's own future with the team. And while some fans might be upset hearing Kerr's words about Kaminga, the coach didn't shy away from giving a full picture, including some insights about his own situation and what might be ahead. When Kerr talks about Kaminga, he acknowledges the obvious. The guy's incredibly gifted and wants a bigger role on the team. But Kerr also says that right now, with the roster the Warriors have, which includes Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, playing Kaminga heavy minutes doesn't align with his goal of winning. Kerr's point is clear. He can't build a winning lineup where Kaminga is playing 38 minutes a night, dominating the ball, and expecting everything to click. It's almost like he's telling Kaminga, "I just can't win with you on the floor that way." Those words sting, but they reveal the tension between the player's style and what Kerr demands from his lineup. The coach goes deeper into the issue, saying that his main focus is winning games, full stop. That means he has to make decisions that aren't always popular with the players, the fans, or even management. Kerr isn't sugarcoating it. It's my way or the highway when it comes to his coaching philosophy. One of the most interesting parts of the interview was when Kerr pulled out some analytics to back up his argument. He pointed to Kaminga's usage rate, which is one of the highest in the league, especially on a team that already has star ball handlers like Curry and Butler. For Kerr, that high usage rate means Kaminga is too ball dominant. He takes too many shots and ends possessions frequently, which disrupts the flow Kerr wants to create. To break it down, a player's usage rate shows how often they end a possession by shooting or drawing fouls. A very high usage rate suggests a player is the go-to scorer. But on a team like the Warriors, Kerr believes that roles should be shared carefully between stars. And right now, Kaminga's style is too much of a mismatch. There have even been rumors swirling that Kerr was frustrated because Kaminga was taking shots over Steph Curry, which for a team that runs through its star point guard is a big no-no. This underlying issue of shot dominance has been a source of tension for some time. Beyond the stats and playing style, Kerr's critique of Kaminga includes his impact on the court. He cited a negative plus-minus rating from the recent playoffs, showing that even though Kaminga can score points, his presence hasn't translated into wins. That's a major red flag for any coach trying to build a championship contender. The Warriors organization has been walking a fine line, balancing the obvious potential Kaminga has with the reality of how he fits or doesn't fit in the system Kerr wants to run. All this public scrutiny of Kaminga hints that his time with the Warriors is nearing an end. The team is likely considering trades or sign-and-trade deals, and the fact that Kerr and others are openly airing their grievances suggests they might be trying to lower Kaminga's trade value. But that strategy is risky. Publicly criticizing a young player can damage his market worth and limit the assets the Warriors can get in return. It's a complicated situation that raises a lot of questions about the team's direction. Adding another layer to this story, former Warriors player DeMarcus Cousins recently threw some serious shade at Steve Kerr, claiming the coach doesn't handle young talent well. Cousins argued that Kerr's approach has damaged relationships with younger players, including Kaminga, and questioned his ability to develop promising prospects. Cousins' comments sparked a lot of debate, especially since Kerr has been credited with guiding key players like Curry, Draymond Green, and KLAY Thompson to championships. Yet, Cousins' point about Kerr's struggles with new, younger talents rings true for some fans watching this drama unfold. Meanwhile, Moses Moody, another young player on the Warriors, has also been through a tough stretch. Many fans criticized his playoff performance, but it turns out Moody was battling a torn ligament in his shooting thumb that required surgery. This injury helps explain why his shooting numbers plummeted and why he lost his spot in the rotation. It's a reminder that there's often more happening behind the scenes than fans realize, and players' struggles aren't always just about skill or effort. With all these factors at play, the Warriors' offseason is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing and potentially tumultuous in recent memory. The conflict between Kerr and Kaminga represents a larger challenge for the franchise: how to manage and integrate young talent while staying competitive at the highest level. Whether the Warriors decide to trade Kaminga or try to adapt their style to fit him better remains to be seen. But what's clear is that the coming months will be critical for the future of both the team and its young core. Beyond the tension between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kaminga, the Warriors' locker room dynamics seem to be shifting in ways that could reshape the team's identity. The coaching staff's apparent frustration with the young players has raised questions about how Golden State intends to nurture the next generation of talent while maintaining a championship-caliber roster. Kerr's candid remarks not only spotlight Kaminga's struggles, but also reflect a broader challenge of balancing veteran leadership with the development of emerging stars. This balancing act is especially tricky when the veterans are superstars like Steph Curry and Draymond Green, whose roles and influence are deeply entrenched in the team system. Kerr's comments about Kaminga being a ball-dominant player with a high usage rate are particularly significant because they reveal the friction between individual playing styles and team chemistry. The Warriors' offense traditionally thrives on ball movement, unselfish play, and exploiting Curry's unparalleled shooting and playmaking abilities. When a player like Kaminga, who tends to take a lot of shots and assert himself aggressively on offense, tries to carve out his role, it can create clashes over who controls the ball. Kerr's public airing of this concern suggests that the coaching staff sees this as a major hurdle to overcome if they want to keep their winning formula intact. What makes the situation even more complicated is that Kaminga's talent is undeniable. At just 22 years old, he possesses a rare blend of athleticism, size, and scoring ability that makes him a coveted asset in the league. His performance in certain moments, especially during the playoffs when Steph Curry was sidelined, showed glimpses of a potential star. Yet the inconsistency and the perceived negative impact on the team's overall performance have left the Warriors' front office in a tough spot. On one hand, they want to give Kaminga the chance to grow into a primary role. On the other, they need to win now and can't afford to compromise their chances with experimental lineups. This tension extends beyond Kaminga, with other young players like Moses Moody also caught in the crossfire. Moody's struggles during the playoffs, followed by the revelation of his thumb injury requiring surgery, highlight how injuries and circumstances off the court can deeply affect a player's development and confidence. The Warriors' reputation as a team that develops young talent is being tested, especially when injuries and coaching strategies complicate the growth path for their prospects. Kerr's approach to managing young players is under scrutiny, with critics arguing that his focus on winning sometimes comes at the expense of fostering and integrating new talent. The public feud between Kerr and Kaminga has also brought internal tensions to the forefront, which might have ripple effects on team morale and locker room chemistry. When a coach criticizes a player so openly, it sends a strong message not only to the individual, but to the entire team. Players often pick up on these signals, which can either motivate them to improve or create divisions within a group. Given the Warriors' recent struggles and the pressure to stay competitive in a tough Western Conference, maintaining harmony while addressing performance issues is a delicate task. Financial considerations are also part of the equation. If the Warriors decide to move on from Kaminga, the structure of any potential trade or sign-and-trade deal will be critical. Lowering his value through public criticism might backfire, resulting in fewer assets or less favorable terms for Golden State. The team needs to carefully weigh how to handle the situation to maximize return while minimizing disruption. The ongoing dialogue in the media about Kaminga's future indicates that the front office is actively exploring options but hasn't settled on a clear path yet. Meanwhile, the coaching situation remains a point of interest. Kerr's recent comments about his contract and future with the Warriors were notably non-committal but optimistic. He emphasized that he isn't planning to leave anytime soon and that he would gladly return if the team wants him. However, The fact that he specifically mentioned wanting to stay as long as Curry and Draymond Green are around raises eyebrows. It hints at a coaching tenure that might be closely tied to the presence of those veteran leaders, which in turn affects how the team plans its rebuild or retooling around younger players. The role of veteran stars like Curry and Draymond Green cannot be overstated in this whole scenario. Their contracts lock them in for at least another couple of seasons, anchoring the team's core and influencing roster decisions. Curry's playing style, leadership, and status as the face of the franchise mean that any shift in the team's strategy must accommodate him first and foremost. Draymond's defensive versatility and vocal presence also play a huge role in shaping the team's identity. The Warriors have built their success around these two, and Kerr's loyalty to them is clear. This loyalty can be both a strength and a challenge when integrating younger players with different styles and developmental needs. It's also worth noting that the Warriors' front office seems to be in a complicated position as well. On one hand, they clearly see value in Kaminga's talent and have supporters within the organization advocating for him. On the other, the coaching staff's perspective cannot be ignored, especially when it comes to the nitty-gritty of game strategy and rotations. The disconnect between management's long-term vision and Kerr's short-term win-now approach might be one of the root causes of the current tension. Navigating this divide will require clear communication, flexibility, and a willingness to find compromise, all of which are easier said than done in a high-stakes environment like the NBA. The fanbase has also been vocal throughout this saga. Some Warriors fans remain hopeful that Kaminga can develop into a star if given the right opportunity and support. Others are frustrated by his inconsistency and the perceived drag on the team's performance. The public nature of the conflict has fueled debates online and in the media, adding extra pressure on the players and coaching staff alike. How the team manages the narrative moving forward will be important for maintaining fan trust and support. Injuries remain an underlying concern for the Warriors moving forward. Moody's thumb surgery is just one example, but the team has dealt with numerous health setbacks in recent seasons. Staying healthy is crucial for any contender, but it's especially important for a team trying to balance veteran durability with the growth of younger players. The medical and training staff will play a key role in ensuring the roster is ready to compete at a high level while giving prospects the time and space they need to heal and improve. The Warriors' offseason will be a pivotal time. Trades, signings, and potential coaching adjustments could redefine the team's trajectory for years to come. Whether they decide to stick with the current core or shake things up by moving Kaminga and possibly others, the goal remains the same: to build a roster capable of contending for championships. Achieving that goal won't be easy, especially with the Western Conference continuing to evolve and new challengers emerging every season. As the situation continues to unfold, the relationship between Kerr and Kaminga will be one to watch closely. Will the coach find a way to integrate Kaminga more effectively, or is a breakup inevitable? How the Warriors handle this will send a clear message about their priorities and philosophy moving forward. Fans, analysts, and insiders will all be paying attention to every move and statement, knowing that the future of the franchise might hinge on the decisions made in the coming months. For now, the drama adds another layer of intrigue to the Warriors' story, a story that has seen incredible highs and difficult lows in recent years. The blend of veteran excellence, youthful potential, coaching challenges, and organizational strategy makes this a fascinating chapter. Whatever happens next, it will be a defining moment for Golden State basketball and a key test for everyone involved. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a development that has stirred considerable buzz across the NBA community, rumors are swirling that KLAY Thompson may be harboring some regrets about his departure from the Golden State Warriors. While no official statements have been made to confirm these sentiments publicly, sources close to the veteran sharpshooter suggest that Thompson has privately expressed remorse over his decision to leave the franchise where he built his legacy. KLAY Thompson, a key figure in the Warriors dynasty that claimed 4 NBA championships, shocked the basketball world when he opted for a new chapter in his career. At the time, it was seen as a bold move, signaling his desire for a fresh start and perhaps a more central role in another team's system. However, as the dust settles on that transition, whispers are growing louder that the decision may not have brought the fulfillment he had envisioned. Insiders hint that Thompson misses not only the unique camaraderie he shared with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, but also the winning culture and deep-rooted support from the Warriors organization and fan base. The synergy of the Splash Brothers became one of the most iconic duos in NBA history, and leaving behind that chemistry might now weigh heavily on him. Adding fuel to the speculation, some have noticed Thompson's recent interviews and social media activity, where he has alluded nostalgically to his time in the Bay Area. Observers point to his wistful tone when discussing his years in Golden State, interpreting these remarks as subtle indications of regret. Though competitive athletes rarely admit second thoughts outright, especially in the heat of their playing careers, the emotional ties and sense of belonging often linger beneath the surface. Whether these murmurings will translate into any concrete actions, such as seeking a trade or a future reunion with the Warriors, remains purely speculative at this point. Nonetheless, the mere possibility that KLAY Thompson feels a sense of loss over leaving Golden State adds an intriguing layer to the ongoing narrative of his storied career. For now, fans and analysts alike will continue to watch closely, dissecting every word and gesture for clues about what the future may hold for one of the NBA's most beloved stars. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.